last week, I didn't have a mixtape out.
Listen, that shit is hard. Listen, no cap.
This week.
Listen, that shit is hard. That shit is hard. I'm not gonna lie. That shit is really tough.
I be telling my people when I'm listening to it, I be like, this is good music. And you can't take that away from me.
Listen. I listened to the album all the way there. And all the way back. You can't fool them with it.
Listen, man.
You can fool them. You can
cannot
fool those who are not
us.
paying attention.
Come on, man.
Hey, the mob, go get the love tapes right now. Go get that.
Hey, man, Love Tapes out on all platforms except for none of them, only on SoundCloud. It's under The Mob. That is THAMOBB. You feel me? But welcome back. Greatest pod in the world, coldest pod in
Niggas
the
are
world.
probably so surprised to hear that intro.
I'm not joking, by the way. Please go listen. I gave my all to that shit. But welcome back to another excellent episode of the show about nothing, the pod about nothing, if you will. You feel me? So I'm here with the greatest ish lifelong best friend.
Yes, sir.
Been rocking since 7th grade. That's 12 years old. We 25 now.
Back when niggas was pulling the Nike socks up.
You feel me? Doubling the Nike socks.
Right.
Shout out to Anthony for dyeing all my Nike Elite socks.
Bro, Hayden, this nigga just could dye the Nike Elite socks.
Bro, he had the rainbow. He had the rainbow. Give me the rainbow tie-dye Nike Elite socks. Shout out to all of them, bro. So, y'all know what happened. We told y'all it was the greatest Sunday in the world. We told y'all the game y'all was finna get, and y'all got exactly what we thought.
It's crazy being this right.
It's crazy just being right all the time. It really does.
We had to
feel
get
good.
in front of microphones just to confirm to y'all niggas how right we were about every facet of the game. Every single thing we said was going to happen happened at one point in the game. It's crazy, man.
Shout out to us, man. So we will start with the winners, of course, man. Actually, let's start in the first quarter, bro.
Yeah.
Because I said Super Bowls usually start slow.
Mm-hmm.
This one did not.
No, sir.
Boys got straight to
First
it.
round touchdown.
You can tell Jalen Hurts is built for the moment, and you
yeah.
can tell Patrick Mahomes has been there. That's as soon as the game started, you can tell both of those things. So just take me through how you felt watching it all. Give me your whole breakdown.
So the first quarter was great to watch on both sides because you got to see how these were for sure the two best teams in the league. No, without question. Anybody else, shout out to the 49ers, who actually shout out Brandon Ayuk and the 49ers, who may be a little, feeling better
Salty.
than they were last week.
Very salty.
Yeah, definitely salty. But hey, listen, I love hating. Maybe Brandon Ayuk knew something. But y'all shouldn't have been there. The Bengals, y'all shouldn't have been there. Teams that were not there, that was a big boy game from the jump. One of the first things we said was, listen, Nick Bolton, Willie Gay, these linebackers, y'all will have to hit, and y'all have to tackle in space.
Yep. And
they did that from the very beginning. I love seeing Jalen Hurts, especially Devontae Smith. Dallas Goedert played one of the greatest games I've ever. Man, listen, they left it all out there.
Everybody did. Yeah.
And the first quarter was so great to watch because everyone who you wanted to step up and see made a play, you kind of got to see that early. I think Mahomes' first pass went to Kelsey. It was everything that we expected it because, like we said, it could go the other way too.
Mm-hmm.
You could take that safety first play of the game.
Yep. Yep.
And for Jalen Hurts to come out there and just not blink, not blink, it's
Shout
just
out
beautiful.
to my dog. Shout out to my dog. So I will start with like you said, Patrick Mahomes looked like he's been there before, and the stars made the plays early in the game, man. And that's all you wanted to see. And I love how you got the best of the offenses, and the defense made the stops when they needed to.
Yeah.
Other than the last possession, every time the Eagles needed to stop, their defense made it. Every time the Chiefs needed to stop, their defense made it. So you can look at the game, and you look at the score as 35-38, and you're like, well, they gave up, obviously, both defense gave up a lot of points. But like it's just said, those are the two best teams in the league. You're going to give up points. So I don't think the Eagles defense should hang their hats or anything. Like we said, you playing Jordan, bro. You playing Jordan. So it's nothing to hang your hat on. If I'm looking at the Eagles, I'm very enthusiastic about my future, about how we work everybody's contract, get Jalen a contract. Yeah. I think I'll stay on the game real quick before I'll stay on the game. But one thing I was wrong about was I said they weren't gonna run Jalen Hurts that much. And yes, they did.
Oh, yeah,
Yes, they did. He was toting the rock, man. Miles Sanders was toting the rock. The Eagles' offensive line looked as dominant as they have been all season. And on the other side of the ball, I think Patrick Mahomes made that shit look way easier than it actually was.
So when we talked about it, you asked me, what would I do? Mm-hmm. How are we going to attack this? And it was exactly what we talked about.
Yeah.
It was a lot of misdirection, a lot of quick hitting runs, and we did say it even before the Super Bowl, because I know a lot of people are coming around like this is like the hot intake about how good the Chiefs' offensive line was. Yes. But one of the main things I said was when the Chiefs decided to run the ball, they have been able to at every step this season.
Yes.
And it caught a lot of people off guard seeing them run the ball in situations, but it didn't for me. Seeing the offense line that was rebuilt this well. Right. Shout out to two-time Super Bowl champion Joe Tooney. He used to be a Patriot. He's on the Chiefs now. But that was the difference for me, just the creativity 100%. And the different ways they were able to run the ball. 100%. I think the Eagles defense played. The only people on the Eagles defense who should not feel great is probably Hassan Reddick. It's a couple people in that front seven.
That front seven should be a little disappointed.
But even in having 0 sacks, it's not like Mahomes was just back there. Mm-hmm. Like him having 0 sacks the whole game is a team effort where half his throws were too quick to get there. Other half, even if you do get a shed, he's so good in the pocket that he's moving, he's throwing the ball. There was one to Kelsey where, Jordan Davis is the biggest grown man in the league.
He shouldn't have made the throw.
Yeah, getting thrown to the ground and the ball still gets out. So I think everyone should be super happy about how they played.
I do too. I think
nobody played bad.
Nobody played bad. Yeah. I think the Eagles front four should be a little disappointed in themselves that on the Mahomes scramble they didn't get to, and they let that gap open. Yeah. But even then, bro, like that's the last thing you're expecting. Right. You're on a hurt ankle that you saw him hurt again in the game.
We just heard it.
You're not expecting him to run for 30 yards. Even if he gets outside the pocket, you're expecting to get him within 5 or 6 yards. Yeah. So that's the last option. So I can't even be mad at you.
And it's not even like it was like a blown like early in the game. You saw a concerted effort from the Chiefs to force Jalen Hurts to roll left.
Yes.
And early in the game, they messed it up and kind of did it too early, and he just jumped out the window. It wasn't like nobody was chasing him. Like they were really trying to get him down. It was just, And
if you think about the situation, look, bro, it was third and about 8 or 10 on the Chiefs 30-something yard. On the Eagles 32, 35. Yeah. If you get an 8-yard sack, 9-yard sack, he might miss that field goal. Right, you got a tie ball. Yeah, so it's like I understand them rushing upfield as hard as they did and not worry so much about the contain, because if you get that sack, you might just walk.
Especially when the kicker's already missed one.
Exactly. Yeah. So I want to jump to Jalen Hurts specifically now. Yeah. The best game I've ever seen him play. I watched a lot of Jalen Hurts this season. Watched a good bit last season. Watched a lot of film going into this week, and it was by far the best game I've ever seen him play. All the NFL analysts, quarterback analysts, all said the same thing. Best game he's played as in his NFL career, and the Super Bowl is the perfect time to have that. 27 of 304, 27 of 38 for 304, a touchdown, no interceptions, 15 carries, 70 yards for 3 touchdowns. Yeah, you can't ask him to do more.
Listen. Jalen Hurts is a great guy. And all the Jalen Hurts press conferences are gas. He's a great leader. He's going to say what needs to be said. But if he wasn't, like if this was Aaron Rodgers, like he was an Aaron Rodgers type guy, he would have been 1,000,000% right. Even if you don't say it to nobody, once he gets in his car, y'all lost. Y'all lost tonight.
Y'all lost.
It wasn't me. It wasn't the nigga who just went toe to toe with Patrick Mahomes. I did my part.
It was not. I won.
Yo, listen. I didn't. I wasn't the second best D line in NFL history. That wasn't on me. They asked me to throw the ball. He's throwing the ball to double coverage 3-4 times, all perfect passes, whether it's Dallas Goedert, A.J. Brown. He put one on Quez Watkins that I thought Quez was going to come down with.
Man, that was bad. That hurt him. Because that was a possession they had to settle for 3, and I think that's what lost them the game. Was that drop from Quez Watkins, bro. And it was such a beautiful ball that I don't think Quez adjusted to it correctly. He jumped for it like it wasn't about to just fall in his hands.
Right.
And I hate when receivers, it doesn't happen a lot because they're professionals, but they misjudge the ball sometimes in the air or think it's closer than it is or farther away.
You saw that with the DB too. You saw that with
Yes.
what's Brown McDuffie, the
Yes.
first AJ Brown touchdown. The ball, the when they like, because you know they got to move the camera so you can see where the ball is landing. They move the camera, and I'm like, damn, that might get picked. And Trent McDuffie literally loses the ball.
Yes.
AJ Brown gets around him.
Part of that, I will say, was an insane fake by AJ Brown because he
Nuts.
gave him a little nudge, like he was going flat, and he took it back. And I don't know if that was something he did on purpose or if he was just misjudging the ball. But
I do want to give credit for AJ Brown on that because he does recognize that the DB is still facing him in man. And I know because you play football and you play DB, he didn't bring his hands up yet.
Exactly.
So for the people that don't understand, when you're playing these people 40 yards down the field, when they bring their hands up, that's when you're taught to go ahead and look for the ball and try to play the ball. He made the move and then brought his hands up at the last moment, and it was just too good.
It was.
But on the drop, listen, man, history repeats itself.
Look, bro.
It's the same pass West dropped.
Look, bro.
It's the same. Listen, he misjudged the ball, jumped a little higher, didn't high point it, but you know, I thought it was great.
That's tough, bro. That Quez Watkins drop was tough because that was my next one too. Was they were up 21-24, middle of the third quarter, and you're looking at it like, all right, if we settle for 3 here, we're up 6.
Yeah.
Base score. At that point in the second half, your defense was cooked. It was not in a bad way, not like they just sucked.
After the first RPO, like I love this. This is why I love how good our show is. We talked about second half adjustments and not showing somebody something until the second half. Right. Because I know that first walking Kadarius Toney touchdown, I hate to be in the Eagles box when their defense is trying to figure out what in-game adjustment they're going to make for that. So what you're saying is so important because you know you got to get 7 here.
You got to.
Got to get 7 here.
And I think the hesitation on Nick Sirianni was like, all right, if I don't get this, and then they go score, what now? Right. Now I'm taking the field goal win out of that. So if you're looking at it mathematically, that's the right decision for every other team in the NFL.
And they already missed a kick.
Exactly.
Field condition, he's on one ankle. You're asking, listen, you know, at the end of the day, and we talked about this, defense get paid too, bro.
Exactly.
They're the best defense in the league. You have to, in that situation, that's the only decision you can make. But Mahomes is an answer.
Thank you, bro. He's the answer to like the question. And what we mean by that is, okay, in every situation, I'm kicking this field goal, especially in a playoff game, Super Bowl, of course. Yeah. I'm kicking this situation to take this 6-point lead, and I'm making my defense make this play on this next drive. But they got Patrick Mahomes, so that answer completely changes. And now we're going for it. It's 4th and 3 too. It's not like, bro, all game they have been running the ball on 3rd down just to get in a shorter 4th down, and it's been working all game. I don't know why they took the ball out of Jalen Hands in that situation, because if you go up 31-21 and they got to score with that situation, you damn near got to score before the end of the 4th quarter or right as the 4th quarter is starting to get the ball.
That was the fake sneak pitch.
Yes.
Yeah, so I hate it. I hated it because once you get to the Super Bowl and you get there a certain way, fam, and I forget what the 3rd down was before it, but 4th and 3, bro, and we on the pod, sometimes you gotta drop your nuts, bro.
But you got to, bro.
You got the best offensive line in the league. You got the best short yard running quarterback. We can safely call him that.
Yes, 100%. I don't think it's a question. Maybe Josh Allen, but I'm taking Jalen Hurts because of his ability to find holes. Like he runs like a running back.
Like a real runner.
Josh Allen is more of a force, but he is a real running back.
Right, and you started on the 2-point conversion.
Yes, absolutely.
It's the Super Bowl. Some shit you gotta let ride.
You just gotta let it go, bro.
You've been the best short yardage team all year.
Gotta go for that, bro. Like you have to go for
that. And to be clear, I disagree with even pitching it out there. If it's 3rd and 1,
on the 3rd play, 3rd down, yes.
3rd and 1. At 3rd and 1, we're gonna line up and run the QB sneak twice. And if y'all stop it,
Good job.
Hats off to you.
But nobody stopped it. I think
it was in the game. They couldn't even stop it.
36 or 37. Like, they were lining up 10 people over the center, and you couldn't stop them. So it was exactly what he said, and I thought that's what they were doing when they lined up. And I get it, bro. It's like, man,
it's tempting.
If we do get it, if it worked like we supposed to, this a touchdown.
Yeah.
So I get it. Like, I can't. Like, hindsight is 20/20, bro. So we can always just go back and be like, you should have done this, but. Just because of what had happened earlier in the game, what was it, 4 or 5? You scored 2 touchdowns on a quarterback sneak, and then you got a couple conversions on a quarterback sneak. So I'm thinking
you had forced a penalty on a quarterback sneak.
Yes,
bro, he didn't even get to run it.
Exactly. So it's like if you line up like that, you go to hard count, don't get him to jump, and then you sneak it. All right, you got half a yard. Now you just need another half a yard.
Right.
And now you got the first down. And then on top of that, even if you don't get that first down, now Mahomes got to go 95 yards.
Exactly.
Instead of 60. So I just think that was the real turning point of the game, bro, is not going there. And if you remember in 3-4 years ago when the Texans got up 24-0 on the Chiefs, the biggest mistake of that game was they had a 4th and 3 in their territory, in the Chiefs' territory, and they did not go for it. They settled for a field goal, and it allowed, instead of going up 28-0, they went up 24-0 going into half, and that was the reason the Chiefs was able to get that little comeback. Then again, you playing Jordan, so whatever. But but to the other side of the ball, other team. What? I don't want to go on the how good is Patrick Mahomes rant yet.
Yeah.
I just want to talk about the game plan they had offensively and how they attacked that Eagles defense in the second half. Because in the first half, the Eagles defense was showing you why they was them, why they was who they was.
Sure.
But that second half, it started to get when Ayuk was saying we saw things about how aggressive they were. They started to expose those things in the second half.
So when we talked about it last week, one of the first things I said, you have to take advantage of how good they are, how in step they are with their switches, how eager they are to make these plays. And in the first half, the Eagles, they did a great job as a team. I think the Chiefs only had 8 minutes time of possession. But coming out in the second half with the first touchdown, it's so amazing that like the average, even like when I was watching it live, I didn't even notice it the first time. So the first one isn't even, that's the set play.
Yes.
Like that's the RPO.
Yes.
And so they do the jet motion, I think a couple plays before that, and he actually goes over. And this time he waves him over and he hikes the ball and Tony turns back around. So the running back is still running the rest of the play. The guard still pulls. But Mahomes sees the miscommunication between it and just has the presence of mind to not need to move and just turn around and flick it. But the game plan, top to bottom, was just a masterclass.
It was a masterclass.
It was, and this may be the theme of the whole season, but the Chrysler look so much like the Rolls. Young Eagles coach, big personality. I'm gonna get to the bowl. I really believe in my players, and then that Rolls really pulled up. Like I can't even think of the last time I saw 2 receivers in the second half of a Super Bowl, 10 yards open on the goal line. On the goal line, 10 yards open. And even those 2 touchdowns aside, the game-ending play where the holding penalty was drawn was on the same concept. And, not to knock Kadarius Toney, who's an amazing player in space, or Sky Moore, like, it's not Cooper Kupp running these routes. Like, it's nothing crazy, but it's just good scheme.
It's a great scheme.
Yeah.
I think the Eagles fly to the football. No pun intended. They fly to the football. They pursue the football very similar to the 49ers defense. Yeah. And the Eagles took advantage of that with the jet motion. They used a lot of jet motion to get Isaiah Pacheco in better situations, numbers-wise, for their offensive line, and to get to the second level, numbers-wise, they use a jet motion to get some corners out of there to see how the defense shifted. But like a great coach does, I'm not just running the jet motion just to get him open on this play. I'm running this jet motion to see how you're reacting to it. And they saw it. Like, it was that simple. They saw how the corners were flying down on that jet motion and staying across, trying to get across. They were passing up. They were either passing it off or they were staying with them, depending on the defense they're in. But either situation, when they passed it off, it was Gardner's responsibility to take the pass off, and then the safety moved up to not the safety. Slay or Bradbury will move and replace the safety's position.
Right.
And you were kind of just leaving that side of the field open because you're not expecting anybody to come back there unless it's on a crosser and you got the safety and you got the outside linebacker to cover it. So it was just like literally a masterclass, bro. And it was just a masterclass.
It was really
it's what you want for football, bro. Like seriously.
This game was the complete opposite of the Patriots-Rams game, but it was the same thing.
Yes.
It was just Andy Reid just knows a little bit more. And he just sees things a little bit differently. And we saw and one of my favorite plays of the game, they come out and wing T on 3rd and 2. In the Super Bowl with the best quarterback in the league, come out and wing T, and not only does it work, it's one of their best run plays of the game because all year they've been running something else and they turn it into a counter run, which you saw all throughout this game with using the jet motion to get the numbers and having Pacheco run counter. But everything we thought we would see, we saw the Travis Kelce double move. It didn't go for 60, but first touchdown in the game for them. And I think the first thing he said was, it's not supposed to look that easy. And people on Twitter were they were kind of saying he didn't do it, Mahomes didn't do enough. But that's how simple the game looked. And it's not like that. For other quarterbacks watching that game who went through war trying to beat the Eagles, Kirk Cousins come to mind, who has Justin Jefferson, and literally could not find a way to get him the ball. Mm-hmm. It's really, really hard to do what the Chiefs just did. And, man, it's just...
And I will say this.
It's not enough you can really say.
I will say this. They did a good job on Travis Kelce.
For sure.
If you tell me the Eagles defense holds Travis Kelce to 6 for 181 for a tub, I'm like, that's really good. Mm-hmm. None of the receivers went over 100 yards. Patrick Mahomes didn't have 200 yards.
Right.
But, and we told you this, if the Chiefs were able to rely on their run game and Patrick Mahomes didn't have to be Superman, they were going to be in a way better position to win this game than if Patrick Mahomes had to drop back 60 times. Because now your offensive line is getting more tired, and this defense has way more opportunities to get sacks and fall on that ankle. Mm-hmm. So Isaiah being able to, I think he went 15 carries, 76 yards, and a tub. That changes your entire game because if you hard running, the type of running where it's I don't really want to tackle him anymore. That type of running. Yep. And on the flip side, Jalen Hurts was the Eagles' best rusher. So the thing that the Eagles did that they couldn't do, Miles Sanders was 7 for 16 yards, Kenneth Gainwell was 7 for 21 yards, and Boston Scott was 3 for 8 yards. Yeah. The Eagles drove down the field their last few possessions running the ball, but their chunk plays came from Jalen Hurts' deep ball. Yep. It came from an excellent deep ball to AJ Brown, the first one that he scored on. The one from Devontae caught on the sideline. Jalen got to get that a little bit down. That should have been a touchdown.
I get it because it's a cover 2 bust where the corner doesn't sink low enough. So you really don't want to leave it too much inside, but you want to take a little air off it so he can catch it and turn it up. Yeah, exactly.
So other than that, it's perfect throw. And then the insane throw. He had a couple big throws to Goddard downfield. But
Goddard caught everything.
Goddard
caught everything thrown his way.
That throw on the sideline, to his right side that he threw where he split the corner and the safety. Yeah, that's an interception. Yeah, that's an interception. If that ball is 2 inches off, 2 inches too low. That ball was so perfect.
He was throwing in the windows all night.
All night. The other pass he threw to with the one that Goddard had to slide and catch. Yeah. Where he threw it low and in the window to where man, Jalen
first catch of the game for Goddard, I think is like a seam out route. Goddard turns around, just running around, turns around, ball's right here.
Just it was beautiful. Man, it was beautiful, Jalen. The throws you were able to make, it gives I know people keep saying yo, it's so hard to get back. So like the whole "we gonna be back" type shit is hard because a lot of teams said that. The first one that comes to my mind is Cam Newton. Cam Newton had me inspired. He said, "We will be back." I said, "Back, nigga." Never came back, bro. It's hard to get back to that point.
It's hard.
But bro, they got the roster and they got their defense isn't going to take a huge step back. Everybody is either signed or can rework a structure. Their offensive line, everybody in their offensive line other than Kelsey should be there next year. And Kelsey may play again. Kelsey is just retirement. It's nothing.
I think one of the two said they're not retiring for sure.
Lane Johnson was the one who said he wasn't retiring. Okay, he's playing again. So Kelsey is still thinking about it. But you looking at that team and you're looking at Jalen Hurts' work ethic and you like, I don't really know how they not back in at least the NFC Championship next year.
And I'm looking at the NFC like, that's my point. What other QB do I think is going to? This is QB's game. What other QB do I think is going to lace them up versus Jalen Hurts, AJ Brown, Devontae Smith in a game that matters and make a difference in the NFC now?
I don't know. Like I genuinely do not know if I have that answer. And it's like Tom is gone. Tom is always the one I'm looking at. Like, all right.
Right.
You can't ever count out Tom.
Right. He might dip into the time machine, but Tom retired. I had super high hopes for Kyler. Kyler's gonna be hurt next year.
Not gonna play. Yep.
Matt Stafford's coming off an injury.
Yep.
Listen.
A bad injury too, not just any old type of injury.
Shout out to Barry. I like the Detroit Lions. I like Jared Goff, but Jared, I don't know if Jared Goff's that.
If he's that to go toe to toe with Jalen in that defense. And on top of the last thing is San Francisco. Well, the last team is San Francisco.
Right.
And we don't know who's playing quarterback for them next year.
Exactly.
Right. It's not going to be Brock Purdy, at least starting off. And Brock Purdy not going into Philadelphia and winning a playoff game. I just don't believe that.
He's just too small, man.
He's just too small. I just don't believe that. I don't believe even if Brock Purdy was playing, they would have won that game. I think it would have been an excellent game, but I still don't think they would have won. Trey Lance. First full year going into Philly for a playoff game, even if they got to come to San Francisco, I don't know how I feel about that.
Right.
And Jimmy G gonna hit the Jimmy G button.
Yeah,
so I don't. And he said he's not coming back, so Jimmy G not in the option. So I don't know.
He'll be a Falcon.
I don't know. I really don't know. Now, Lamar can change all of this.
Oh yeah.
Aaron Rodgers can change all of this. Those two players can change all of this and everything we're saying. But right now the Eagles look hopeful. So I do want to jump into what the Eagles do after this season. What if you're the Eagles, what are you looking at? Are you trying to get Jalen on a 5-year deal, or do you want to do the Patrick Mahomes and give him an 8-year deal so you can pay people in between and his contract? Like, it might be a $300 million contract, but it's not as much, and it gets less and less as the years go.
I think Jalen and both the Eagles are going to work out a deal where he's going to for sure be one of the highest paid players once his pen hits it. But I don't think it's going to be a deal that's going to be objectively super large moving forward, like a Russell Wilson, like a Rodgers. I think it'll be more like you said, where it's like a Mahomes, where we're signing you early. This is your first big payday. You were a second rounder, so you're going to get a huge bonus. We can backload most of the money, but you're still going to get a bunch of guaranteed dollars because if you're Philadelphia, this is the best quarterback in the conference by far.
It's not even a question.
Like it's a giant gap between Jalen Hurts and every other QB in that conference moving forward. So you have to lock him up because even if you're not 1,000,000% like he's a top 5 QB, you don't play 32 teams every year.
Nope.
You play your division, and then you play the rest of the rest of your 8 games. But if you dominate your division, that's a playoff spot guaranteed.
Yeah. Pretty much.
And if you got the best QB in your division by a mile,
guess what that helps.
Yeah.
And their schedule next year does get a little bit tougher, of course, because they won the Super Bowl, and then their schedule this year was pretty easy. But I think that's what you do, bro. I think you give them a 7 to 10 year contract. I would say 10 years is a lot, especially with a quarterback you actually run that much. Right. And it's not like I think it's really an issue running your quarterback that much, but you do have to look at the history of the NFL and look at the quarterbacks that did run a lot. Right. I will say this though: you look at Cam, never had great talent, never ever had a great offense. I mean, he had 2 years with a good offensive coordinator, and then they kicked him to the curb. Yeah. So you're looking at Cam as the main. That's who you're really looking at, honestly. If you're the Eagles, you're looking at Cam and how his career went. But what is different is that offense was better than Cam's ever had.
Defense too.
The defense is better than. I'm not gonna say better than he ever had, but it's as good as that Panthers defense was in 2015. And your coaching staff is better than his coaching staff ever was. Yeah. So if you're looking at that, I will say this:
the league worse.
The league is a little bit worse.
I don't want to say the league's worse. The NFC is worse.
The NFC is worse, and football is still real physical. But the way you run Jalen Hurts, he can avoid taking those big hits.
And listen,
I'll say that.
A lot of people don't say it, and I know you know it. Cam Newton, all the worst hits he ever took were clearly blatant, late, and dirty hits.
Yes. Yeah,
that don't happen in Philadelphia.
Exactly.
You do that in Philadelphia, Jason Kelsey waiting for you.
Exactly.
Because I saw how Jason Kelsey, who did he hit? Oh my God, it was one of the rookies.
Yes,
on like a screen. They didn't even complete the pass.
Oh my God.
Just absolutely melting this young man.
I felt bad. I said, boy, he gonna feel that for a week.
I'm telling. Listen, they better win the game.
And Cam never got hurt running the ball. It was all in the pocket. And a lot of running quarterbacks we say run like Lamar has never been hurt running. It's all been in the pocket. So you're not too concerned. I'm not giving him a 10-year contract, but I'm going 7, 8 at least. And like you said, I'm huge signing bonus. Give him a lot on the back end, and these next 3 years continue to build this team so we can pay other players, bro. Yeah. But I really think they have a perfect formula because you're not in the NFL. You don't need a bunch of superstars. Right. You just need the quarterback, and you need a great defense. Yeah. They have that. They have a great defense. Their defense isn't. I don't think their defense is going anywhere anytime soon. I think Hassan Reddick is young. Their linebackers are good. I think you draft a linebacker, develop a linebacker, and you draft this and develop a safety to complete your defense. But other than that, bro, I think they're in perfect position to not. I'm not going to say just get right back to the Super Bowl because that's super hard, and we're a long way. We're literally a full year away from that. But I think they're in perfect position to be number 1 or 2 or 3 in the NFC again. Very easily.
And I definitely, aside from I believe in Jalen Hurts so much. I believe in Howie Roseman a lot. I believe in how they're going to build this team because I've watched him twice already build a championship roster without a great quarterback or without a bunch of resources. He just drafts well, identifies well, trades well. They still have the Saints pick to replace. If 1 or 2 people leave, you still have a top 10 pick, a pick you can package, a pick you can keep. So I think they'll be fine. Moving forward, just how young they are, and the pieces that they need are still going to be there. Like if they lose somebody on defense and they have to replace them with a young player, I still trust Devontae Smith, AJ Brown, Jalen Hurts, who both receivers over 1,000 yards. I love Miles Sanders. Miles Sanders is a great player. Whatever running back I put next to Jalen will be better because he's next to Jalen. So you just see him. He needs to be already what he is, which is making other players better. But it's going to come in handy because he'll need to make like a running back, or RB2 better because you won't be able to afford like 3 great running backs. But if you have one good running back and we have Jalen Hurts, the other one is just going to be productive because we're going to change the run game with the numbers and scheme anyway.
Honestly, I said this about the Bills a few weeks ago, but I'm looking at Brian Robinson out of Texas if I'm the Eagles. I got the Saints pick. I'm going to be able to draft him. And what you might be able to do, because running backs I think the Saints pick is like 7 or something. And the Saints, running backs aren't going to go that high. You're not worried about him getting picked at 10 or 11. So honestly, what they might be able to do is trade for a decent player, trade back for a decent player and get to 16 and still be able to get that running back they want.
Yeah, that's a fact.
But they might want to do, like you said, they might want to get an established player and just go ahead and run it back. But on to real quick, the last thing about Jalen and why they should feel so confident, why the contract isn't going to be a big deal. One is because as long as he keeps on doing what he's good in Philadelphia forever, and he's going to be able to get paid. The endorsements that he's going to get just out of Philly is going to be.
Jalen Hurts won a Heisman, right?
Yes. He's good forever. And he went to Alabama and Oklahoma. Like, he's good.
He went to Alabama and Oklahoma.
Like, the money is going to be good for him. I don't think he's too concerned about that. And lastly, as far as the Eagles and if you're worried about paying him or giving him an extended contract, Jalen Hurts has gotten better every season since we've seen him. Not the NFL. Since we have seen him at Alabama, he has gotten better every single season. Yeah. That don't tell you nothing. Then I don't know what to say.
He can start for Nick Saban in the championship. I think we'll be all right.
I think he'll be okay. So, to the Chiefs. You can't say enough about 15, man. 5 years, 2 Super Bowls MVPs, 2 MVPs.
5 AFC championships.
5 AFC championships. Hasn't played a role playoff game yet. and he turned Travis Kelce into a regular guy from a regular guy to the best tight end ever.
Yep.
Rejuvenated Andy's career. Andy Reid finally got the Super Bowl he deserved. Eric Bieniemy should have a job by now. Andy Reid did all he could to give him the credit. He was like, "Thank you for the game plan." Like he told, "Thank you for the game plan." He made sure everybody saw him hug him. Like Andy Reid is doing everything he can to get that man a job. But honestly, bro, if you don't want to be a head coach, I don't know why you leaving to go be an offense coordinator anywhere else other than unless you just want to play around with Jalen Hurts or something. Pause. But like, I don't know why you want to leave.
I wouldn't leave.
But
I'm gonna leave and play against him.
like, come on now. What are you? If you're the Chiefs, and this was quote unquote supposed to be your rebuild year. It was supposed to be.
Mm-hmm.
What are you doing? like you have the best player ever. Like, how do you not? I'll ask a better question. How do you not get complacent and just assume this is the new normal?
So because this was a rebuild year, the plan was already in place. Mm-hmm. Everything else was kind of just gravy. So we kind of knew Juju would be here 1 year, let him walk. We're going to draft a good wide receiver high. We rebuilt our defense. We rebuilt our offensive line. There's no other needs we have. We got the running back in the 7th round. Travis isn't going anywhere. I think only needs they have moving forward is wide receiver, and we just grabbed Kadarius Toney for a bag of chips. Yeah. So they would be drafting another receiver, probably a bigger receiver to replace MVS, someone who can stretch the field a little bit. But outside of that, it's just, probably going to have to franchise tag one of their tackles because I know Orlando Brown's a free agent and their right tackle's a free agent. But keep the left tackle, probably draft a right tackle, and, keep the 96 Bulls together.
I asked you this question just so I can say this. Odell been off for a long time.
Damn, Odell has been off for a long time.
Real healthy coming around September.
Yep.
Look, man. You say, look, Odell, look, bro. I've been to 5 straight.
Yep.
Last year I didn't have nobody of your caliber, not even nothing close to.
Fam was throwing the MVS.
Juju.
He was really throwing the Juju. Patrick Mahomes got Juju Smith talking to Pro Bowl, All Pro players crazy on Twitter, bro. Like
Juju, who was doing TikTok dances and couldn't catch a pass. Everything Antonio Brown said about Juju was right, by the way.
It's crazy what greatness will do because Pat Mahomes really pulled him out the gutter. It's crazy what greatness will do for you, man. Juju had 7 catches in the Super Bowl. I think he had 4 on one drive.
Yes, he did. That drive they went down to take the lead was his best drive of the game.
Dog,
man,
it's crazy because bro, everybody killing him and man, everything they saying right, but he right too.
Right too, bro.
It's nothing, y'all. It's really just y'all just gotta wear that one.
Y'all just
gotta wear that.
That's why you can't respond to stuff like that when you lost, because it's you lost. Bro.
Yeah,
it's you lost.
Everything. Listen, AJ Brown, salute to you, but fam, y'all was talking this shit all season to people. Listen, don't count the people you score over. Don't laugh at the Tennessee Titans on Twitter. This nigga was ain't nobody open. It's your turn now.
It's just your turn, bro.
It's your turn.
And don't get me wrong, you deserve to say everything you said.
Oh God.
But you can't be mad when it come back. When the rabbit got the gun, you feel me?
It's nothing Juju do better than you on the football field.
Not one thing.
And everybody know that. But you know what?
He won.
He won the Super Bowl.
He won the ball. So, but yeah, I'm looking at Odell. I'm seeing what Odell. DeAndre Hopkins is unhappy. I'm calling DeAndre Hopkins.
Yep.
And just because I got Patrick Mahomes and they don't got a quarterback right now, I'm seeing in Vegas trying to rebuild.
Hey, listen, Devontae Adams.
Look, y'all trying to rebuild. I'll give you 2 picks. Yep. I give you 2 picks and a player for Devontae. So I'm looking at one of those superstar receivers, and we have been talking about how important a superstar receiver has become in this NFL. And clearly, it's not that important to Patrick Mahomes, but he does have a superstar tight end, one of the 3 best tight ends ever. So, taking that and comparing, bringing in a top 5 receiver, you saw what happened with Tyreek, and having somebody. I think the thing with Tyreek is sometimes it's so hard to get Tyreek to run certain routes because he is so fast. Yeah. It's hard to Like a 10-yard dig to Tyreek Hill is not a 10-yard dig to Odell or to Devontae, who are like maybe better than him, but it's like, dog, like he's running so fast, it's hard to throw him certain routes. Those routes you can throw to Odell, which opens your offense. You can get Odell to stretch the field and then work the middle of the field, or work the outside of the field, have Kelsey be able, now you gotta either single up on the Odell or single up on Kelsey. Not gonna work. Are you gonna let Kelsey pick apart his own all game? So I just think a number one receiver is really a number one receiver, and continue to develop those corners. If you can trade that pick back and get a shutdown corner, and because Ramsey is looking to, they don't know what he's doing. So if they could get a Ramsey,
listen, Bradbury's a free agent.
Bradbury, if you could get somebody like that in and get a shutdown corner and then just work with that secondary, I think their only weakness is a secondary. Yeah. And you build that. And the only reason
who played a hell of a game.
Who played a hell of a game, and the reason they're weak is because they're a bunch of rookies. They're supposed to be a weak secondary. So, but the question has been asked multiple times, man. Where is Patrick Mahomes in that long time? And I'm being serious this time.
Three. He's 3.
Okay.
He's 3. It's Brady, Montana, him. Okay. Montana having 4 and his numbers being like ridiculous.
Especially in the era he played in.
Yeah, I give him that. But right now, it's anybody outside of those two, I probably don't entertain the argument.
I give Peyton the argument because Peyton was Peyton, and it was like I don't want to say like if Peyton had this, he would be doing this, because Peyton had a lot. Peyton had Marvin Harrison, Reggie White, Clark, Tony Dungy.
They changed the rules because that bitch ass because he was pushing his wide receivers around.
Who else did they have? The running backs, Edgerrin James.
Yeah.
So
Dallas Clark.
Yeah, man. Like I can't just say he's outright better than Peyton. So I will say he's no lower than 4.
Okay.
3, I'm not looking at you like you crazy, because I would probably have him above Peyton if I'm really thinking about it. I'll probably have him above Peyton, but those would be the 3. Brady, Montana, and Peyton are the only 3 I'm looking at like, you got a case for him. Everybody else he's better than. And I'm not like Elway cute, like Elway was cute. Elway was him, and Elway would probably be if Patrick Mahomes didn't exist, he would probably be my 4 after Peyton. Elway was him, but he better than Elway. I mean, Brett Favre, no question. Aaron Rodgers is no question. Drew Brees is no question.
Brady kind of like, this is what greatness does, where it kind of changes how we're gonna judge these players, because for real, like when we were growing up, like 3-4 bowls was like some nut shit to do. It was like if you won 3 or 4 bowls, you was on some crazy timing. Either you had probably the best wide receiver and the best corner ever lining up on the same team with Jerry Rice and Deion Sanders, and then you also had Joe Montana, or you had like pre-salary cap. We're gonna draft all these great players. Like we're gonna hide Lynn Swann college footage so we can draft him like the Steelers was doing. Like some crazy shit like that. Or even with the Patriots, the first 3 was like, all right, this is going to be one of the best defenses ever. Yeah. And then we're going to take some time, fuck around, miss the playoffs, and then we'll be back. The Chiefs, it's so different because his first day, he was the best quarterback in the league. Mahomes' first year is a year Hall of Famers hang their hat on. 50 touchdowns, 5,000 yards, AFC Championship, MVP. Like that's Aaron Rodgers. That's Dan Marino. That's it. And that's not even his best year. So if you were to take this year, and I saw a crazy graphic. Shout out Tim Duncan, by the way. Players have multiple season MVPs, multiple championship MVPs in their first 5 years. It's like 3 people ever across sports.
In any sport.
It's Tim Duncan, it's Patrick Mahomes, and it's some guy from a sport that we don't care about. But shout out to him.
Okay.
But the first 5 years, it's almost impossible to think his worst season is overtime AFC Championship game loss at home. Like that's his worst season. That's a down year. And the best season is we're gonna lose a top 3 receiver in the league, no doubt. We're gonna lead the NFL in points anyway. We're gonna be the 1 seed anyway. And then, I'm tweaking 4, 8, 12. And for 11 of the 12 quarters we're going to play in the playoffs, he's going to be hurt, and he won't throw a pick. And it'll be perfect. And we don't lose any game. He's in real special class, especially because the way they've won it in the Super Bowl too. Both number elite defenses, double-digit comebacks in the second half. Double-digit comebacks in the second half of the Super Bowl. I think Tom Brady has 2. Mahomes has 2. The rest of the history of the league, 0. Like, no one else even has one. It's just uncharted territory for people. Like, they were down 24-14 at halftime, and nobody was worried.
No, I wasn't worried. I wasn't worried at all.
Andy Reid out of the game was like, yeah, we were down 10 points, but, like, it's just 10 points. Like,
it's just 10 points.
It's just 10 points.
And in the NFL, it is now just 10 points.
Yeah.
But to him, it's like 7. So it's like I never was comfortable at the game. I was never watching the game like comfortable because I really wanted the Eagles to win this game only because of Jalen Hurts. Like it wasn't like I just hate Patrick Mahomes. And it was just like I wanted Jalen Hurts to get this like the validation he did. But he played. I said this. I was like, if they lose, I want Jalen to have the best game he possibly have, and it happened. So I wasn't tripping. So Patrick Mahomes is 64-14.
64-14 against professionals. Against this is the best in the world doing this, man.
Patrick Mahomes is 64-14, bro. He has lost 14 NFL games, bro, in 5 years.
This is why
he has lost 14 games, bro. That is
This is why he's Jordan. Because
he is Jordan, bro.
When we look back, all these little stats that we see in person, that's how it's going to be like for them. Mm-hmm. Like when kids realize that he's 58% likely to win the game down multiple scores, that's ridiculous. They'd be a playoff team if they started every game down 10. They would still be a playoff team every year. If every game the Chiefs spotted you 10. I've never seen anything like it.
It's seriously stupid. And I want to say this, bro, because how do you say it? You don't look like us. If you get what I'm saying, people that's supposed to get what I'm saying, get what I'm saying. You don't look like us. Your family don't look like us,
except Pops.
Except for Pops.
Yeah.
But for you to carry yourself like you, and you are one of us. I'm not saying you're not. I'm just saying from the looks and the outside, like it doesn't necessarily look like that. But for you to carry yourself in the way you carry yourself and always wear that I'm a black man card, always wear that. Mm-hmm. I respect that so much because you could easily jump to that other side.
You could be the other way.
You could jump to that other side with no issue, and you don't. You always stick your nose out in the front of the conversations when the black quarterback conversations come up. You always give credits to the great black quarterbacks in the league.
That's a fact.
You raved about Jalen Hurts all week and after the game. And lastly, you came into this season and people were saying Josh Allen was better than you, Joe Burrow had your number and he was better than you. After you lost to the Bengals, people were saying they was better than you. The Bengals was calling
you do too much.
You was doing too much. Burrow had if you make him play quarterback and make him play from the pocket, he can't win. He's not that good. Blah blah. You heard it all. They lost Tyreek. They're not going to be as good. That defense sucks. And you won an MVP and won a Super Bowl and won a Super Bowl MVP.
Oh, broke the records for most yards in the season. Too.
Broke the records for most yards in the season. Didn't even know that. Broke the records for most yards in the season. And when you got to the press conference, at the one moment, everybody would have been okay if he was just like, y'all can't fuck with me.
Yeah, if this was an I'm him press conference.
If this was an I'm him press conference, nobody would have batted an eye. Mm-hmm. And the first thing you said was, I just did this because my teammates helped. I just did this for my teammates. All the credit goes to my teammates and these fans. They helped me. This coaching staff is amazing. And you just, every time you spoke, it was because you got interviewed the second the game ended on the podium when you got the MVP and then at the podium after the game. My teammates. Like, I commend you so much on how you carry yourself because it is so easy to get wrapped up in, I'm this nigga, I'm that guy. Like, and you are. Like, that's the thing. It's like, you are. Yeah. Everything you can say is true. And nobody could tell you you're wrong, but you don't do that, bro. And you continuously like, you weren't even playing with great. It would be different if you was playing with Travis, Tyreek Hill, and Odell on one side. Yeah. And it was like, yeah, I get you giving credit to your team. It's just you and Travis back there. With a rookie running back, some no-name receivers, bro, and you just give everybody credit but yourself.
It was beautiful because so you asked me what would we need for them to win the Super Bowl. And I said 93 Jordan.
Mm-hmm.
And I picked 93 very specifically because that was towards the end of the first three-peat. And Jordan's a different player.
Yeah.
The same way that this Patrick Mahomes is different than the one that won it with the 49ers. And he talked about this after the game was he is a tone setter now. He is a leader on that team. He's no longer the younger player that Tyrann Mathieu, Derrick Johnson, Travis Kelce, these people are teaching how to be a professional. No, he is setting the tone for these first-year players that are coming into the league. That's Patrick Mahomes.
Yes.
Like Scott Moore, all these people that's playing on the Chiefs, that is Patrick Mahomes. So he's setting the tone. Like, if I'm going to play like this, you know, they talk about in the locker room where they challenge each other. Like, that the leadership for this one makes it so much special because it's funny. Skip Bayless used to bring this up with Braun a lot. He don't do it anymore. Like the different types of leaders, and I forget what the term the guy ended up putting on it. But Mahomes is now the leader where everyone knows he's leading. It's not a question. He's not like Russ in Denver is telling people I'm the leader. Mahomes get out the car. He's the leader of this team. And you saw how happy he was to lead all these players and not only just lead them, but see them do well too. See them take ownership of that. And it is just great to watch. He's the face of the league easy now, especially with Tom retiring. So
hats off, bro. Like,
we're entering the golden ages.
We are, bro. Like, hats off, bro.
We're in the golden ages of the Mahomes era, bro. Because, man, this might be one of their worst teams in the next couple of years. This might be one of the worst rosters they have in the next couple of years, bro.
So I gotta ask about the holding call, and then I got two questions. I'm about to type them out because I'm forgetting if I don't. So holding call, how did you feel about it? Simple as that. Holding call.
You can't call that shit, bro. You can't call that shit. But so that's my. So I'm watching it live, and I'm like, there's no fucking way they called it. So, couple days removed. Saw the angle that the nigga who threw the penalty, the back judge saw. And I was like, man, it's a hold, but I still don't know if you call it. First, because, and this is what we talked about, you haven't called it the whole game. I am fine, like they asked the Patriots, God, what is it, Eric Mangini. Like, because we're a very physical team. And we were always known to play this type of defense, did it all the way through all our Super Bowls, was, you know, how do we kind of gauge our physicality? And the Patriot rule is we're going to do business, how business is being done. However physical this game is going to be, that's how we're going to play. Now, if you're going to call it and we're not, you know, those things aren't going to be allowed, that's fine. We'll play a different way. But to play four quarters of Super Bowl football, and both teams have been grabbing, clawing, doing all this for 4 quarters. It's the right call, but boy, it takes some stones on you for you to make that call, and you haven't done it the entire game. And I get the argument of, well, if he doesn't call it, it changes the game. Well, yes, the same way he didn't call it on the first third down in this first quarter when you didn't call it. Or when they did it for the Chiefs. Now, I thought the officiating was kind of iffy both ways in moments, so I wasn't big on I can't believe I don't feel like the Eagles got super cheated because I also feel like Miles Sanders fumbled that fucking football. No cap.
Okay.
No cap.
I didn't feel that way.
I hate the NFL. I think Joel Elvis said this because nobody knows how to fucking catch it. I don't know how to catch this anymore either, bro. He caught the ball took 2 steps and looked upfield. Like, I just don't know. But what made me mad was they called it a touchdown on the field. So it was like inconclusive is coming back. But I hate it ended that way because this was probably one of the best Super Bowls we've had in a very, very long time.
It's been a while.
Very
probably
long
since
time.
28-3, and 28-3 didn't have this feel because it was a comeback. Like we have a feel where it was just like Tyson and what's her face going back and forth, just throwing haymakers at each other.
The Falcons Patriots, it was great plays everywhere. It was great minds, but it wasn't haymakers traded. Every single possession for both teams, there's tension because we need this. Like the Chiefs get the ball off the kickoff after the Eagles scored. Patrick Mahomes is driving back. I'm like, they need to score here. They need to score this play right here. Like every single time you get the ball, you felt that sense of urgency because like this could be it for real.
Yeah, and I felt that way about that drive when they went up 35-27. And I was like, oh, this is a game. I said, they got to score.
Yeah.
And when he went down, Jalen and led the team went down and scored, then got a 2-point conversion. I was like, okay, they can lose now. After he did that, I was like, okay, they can lose.
Shout out to I was like,
you did everything
shout
you
out
did.
all my Eagles fans. Bro, we was in the chat, bro. Listen, Jalen scored a touchdown. He do the 2-point conversion. My boy Zay sent the T.O. gif to crying. He said, that's my quarterback. Jalen Hurts left it all out there. So how did you feel about the holding call? Because I know you played DB, so I know. Did you hear the thing about the gloves? Let me ask you that. Did you do
The white gloves?
Yeah.
Yes, genius.
Okay.
Definitely genius. So, simply put, you can't call that. It's bullshit, bro.
Yeah.
It's bullshit. It's simple as that. And this is why. And I understand the Chiefs, like, if I'm the Chiefs, yes, you should have fucking called that.
Yeah.
If I'm the Eagles, you shouldn't have called that. I respect the Eagles and how they handled that. Because at the press conference, I'm laying into the rest.
Listen, ain't no Bradbury. Listen,
Bradbury, you a good man, bro.
Listen, he had a free agency. He probably talked to his agent after the game. He probably know the offers that he'll be looking at. He may be driving home smiling on Sunday.
Yeah.
Nigga like me not wearing that at the press conference.
Nope.
I'm not wearing it at the press conference.
Not at all.
Hell no. Do you think that's a flag? Fuck no. I don't know what he saw.
So, I get it, because I saw the angle incident, which was the angle the ref was looking at, and he does have a fistful of jerseys.
Yep.
But the reason I am saying you don't call that is because it was not a catchable ball.
Yeah.
If Bradbury does not hold on to his jersey, because I thought if you go back and watch the replay, after he grabs the jersey, he kind of grabs his side. And I thought that's what they were calling holding. And I was like, bro, they play football like that all year. Mm-hmm. So then I saw and that's what I was super mad that night. I was like, man, that's terrible.
I get so whoever was doing it, you know, I think they do it on purpose because this is the NFL. Mm-hmm. I think they intentionally did not show that back angle because that front angle where he's just hand on the hip, running. So what they call it, running in phase with him. That's not a flag.
Not even a little.
Yeah.
So I saw that and I was like, bro, what in the hell? After the game, I didn't talk for 30 minutes. I was just sitting on the couch mad as hell. I was like, bro, there's no way this game ended like that. But when I saw the second angle, I said, okay, I get it.
Yeah.
Because as a ref, you're not supposed to be in the moment.
Right.
Everybody else is. Mm-hmm. But your job as the ref is to make the right call. And unfortunately, that was the right call. I still lie under the statement of you shouldn't call that. Right. I do not think he should have called it. Even seeing the other angle, I don't think you call that. I think you let them kick that field goal and you let the Eagles go down there and try to make the drive.
Hey, listen, I'm big into optics, bro. Throw the flag earlier. If you throw the flag during the play, like even the optics felt bad where the ball sailing into the end zone is like, all right. And then the flag comes out. Like, come on, bro. You're making it so hard.
Yes. It would have been one thing if the flag was out. You saw the little yellow marker on the screen before the ball even
because he held him. The call you made, he held him early in the play.
Super early in the play. And that's why I was so frustrated.
I threw the flag at him.
Bro.
I threw the flag at Bradbury head.
But my whole point, the point I have been laying on is that the ball was not catchable. And I don't care if the ball is, I do care if the ball is catchable. The ball was landing on the 3-yard line. He stuck his finger out, barely missed it. Mm-hmm. Okay, I get it. Even if he was running and it was like, ooh, like it don't even touch his hand, but it's like, okay, if he don't get that little stoppage, he catching that ball. He was 12 yards away from that ball, bro. And he didn't stop running the route. It's not like he got held and he stopped running the route. He fully ran that entire route, and the ball landed 10 yards away.
You know what? I'll say
so don't call that.
I'll say it because everybody else is respected journalists and they don't want to say it. Fucking route was ass. Keep it a bean. He wasn't even cooking on the route. Like, and nobody will say it. Listen, Shannon Sharp don't want to. Niggas won't say it. The route wasn't even good. Like,
it was a bad route.
It was a bad route. And to Andy Reid, Mahomes' credit, it's a great. If Tony run that route, he probably fried Bradbury because it's a 3-way option where you're gonna break in. If he breaks in on the motion and you have that, you go. He sits on it so you break out. If he's still there, which you saw Juju do, you're supposed to turn around and turn it up. Juju just don't got that third gear
No.
to turn around and turn it up. So after the out, the play is over.
Exactly.
Like you weren't even like if you were really running that route.
That's my thing, bro. That's my thing, bro. And last, bro, they have been slipping all day. So it was like, bro, like he was about to slip, like he was just trying to catch his balance. Yeah. It was like, bro, just give him the benefit of the doubt and let this game keep going because you kick that ball. The thing is, though, it gets real bad if the Eagles get the ball back and go down and score. They kick a field goal, everybody going to overtime, everybody happy because now overtime is they both get a possession. Oh my God, what a crazy. But they go down and they score. And the thing was, at that point, the Eagles had scored on it. Like the last 2 or 3 possessions straight, and that deep ball had been there all game. So it was like, man, they might take the top off one more time, and that might be it. But you just can't call it.
Hey, shout out LeBron.
Shout out LeBron.
Hey, shout out
Great
LeBron.
tweet.
Listen,
Great tweet.
y'all said call got to get made, bro. Y'all told us that a couple of weeks before the Super Bowls. All the NBA was talking about was on the last plays. Let's make sure we call it by the book.
But I will say this, because I saw that point. I saw Shannon Sharp make that point. Game 64 of the regular season and the Super Bowl not the same thing.
That's a fact, though.
Shannon Sharp, that's not the same thing.
That's a fact.
And you know it better than anybody. He played in a couple of the Super Bowls. That's not the same thing. Celtics game on TNT in mid-January is not the same thing as a bowl,
listen,
bro.
hey, shout out Greg Olson, by the way. Calling the Super Bowl.
Yes.
Shout out Greg Olson.
I love Greg.
Listen, call a spade. You can't call that. You just can't call
And he
that,
said
bro.
it.
Yeah.
And you could tell that was a player reaction. Not the player took over him because his whole tone of voice
Yeah.
changed. His broadcaster voice left and everything. He was like, bro, you can't call that, bro.
No way,
Oh, he was so sick for the Eagles, bro. And they should be, the NFL should be sick. We didn't get that. Jalen get that ball back. Play what if? Jalen get the ball back. Do you think they score or just get a field goal?
No, they score.
I thought so too.
No,
With a timeout and a minute and 38, I think it was a minute and 38, minute 42.
An eternity in the NFL, especially with those weapons. I would love to see a bunch of defensive penalties just change though, because I feel like defensive holding is too ticky tacky.
I do too.
And not in a way where they're not going to call defensive holding anymore. But if I grab somebody at the line of scrimmage, bro, why is it an automatic first down, bro? If you want to say Bradbury, that's a hold, he don't let him get out that route, cool, make it a spot foul. Make it a spot foul or half the distance or 5 yards, something. But just I grab him behind the line of scrimmage, we moving the chains. Like
That's stupid.
Come
It's so
on,
stupid,
bro, like-
bro. It's so stupid. But
and no, it's so like you're giving the offense so much priority. Like,
so much, bro. They get so much, bro.
Yeah.
You can't touch the quarterback.
automatic
You can't hit him.
first. Like,
Bro, like it's an automatic first down. It's just the defense does not get favored in any penalty.
Yeah.
Like I don't understand penalties. The only penalty that they really get favored in is offensive holding. But like they didn't even call that. So it's hard, bro. It's
no,
tough.
they call it offensive holding and niggas be like confused. Like
Like we hold every play.
Yeah.
Why is it not?
the only time I really love to see the offensive holding is on run plays. I love to see the offensive holding because then niggas really be mad.
But let somebody take a 70-yard.
Yeah.
Man.
Offensive holding.
Offensive holding. All right, so
That's the Madden special.
Whew. 2 questions. 2 questions. First off, how many Super Bowls do you think Patrick Mahomes and the Chiefs win?
5. I think 5 is the number. I think 5 minimum is the number. It's really hard to win Super Bowls.
It's really
Even this one, it was really hard to win this Super Bowl.
I asked the question backwards. I'm sorry. How many do you think they get to, and how many do you think they win?
To get to, it's going to be a bunch. I think he gets to, if Andy Reid stays, let's say 10 more.
Mhm.
I think they're in 6 minimum.
6.
I think they're in 6.
6 more.
6 more. So that would give him 9 total.
9 total. Okay.
Yeah.
My number was 10. So
Yeah.
7. 7 in the next 10 years. His contract is, I think he's on 2nd year, so he has 8 more years as a contract. I think years 8, probably 7 or 8, everything's going to plan, which will be.
Yeah.
They probably sign him to another 4 year, and because he's not going to play to 40, I don't think.
No.
But he's 27 now. 8 years takes him to 35. I can see him playing to 38,
Yeah.
so I'll say that's
Because he went 2 1 year. Could they play 2 seasons?
So I'll say 11 years. He's been to what, 3?
3.
3?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll say 10. I'll say 10.
Yeah.
I'll say 10. No. I'm gonna say 10. I'm gonna say 10. I like 10. I think 9 or 10 is the number, and I think 5 was my number 2.
Yeah.
7 is crazy. Brady winning 7 doesn't make sense. And if you look at he shouldn't have 2 of them. It's like he shouldn't have the Falcons win like worst meltdown ever and the pick on the goal line. So it's like a lot of luck went into 2
from
of them.
2014 to 2020, he won it every other year. He won it every other year, and that includes changing teams to the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. But like you said, a lot of stuff got to happen.
A lot happens
both ways. Listen. Brandon Browner jams a wide receiver at the line. Malcolm Butler jumps in front of that, picks the ball up. Change the whole Super Bowl. Wes Welker dropping a pass. That's the difference between being 17-0 and losing the Super Bowl.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, Matt Ryan, listen, you call out the pass protection. Devontae Smith just doesn't see the linebacker.
Game up.
Difference between winning and losing it. Jimmy G steps into a post route. The only time we've ever seen Jimmy G overthrow somebody.
Overthrow somebody. Yeah. And then last game. I don't know if this is true, but shit. You don't let Kadarius take that punt return 70 yards.
Shout out to KT. Shout out KT.
They got to go a whole drive instead of 5 yards. Right. Shit. You don't know what happened.
You just played the whole playoffs with a very serious injury. Football's a physical game. Injuries, these things happen. Even Brady
missed a full year.
Missed a full year coming off being undefeated.
Mm-hmm.
Next
year, he got hurt.
Life is nothing hits you harder than life.
Exactly.
So I can't say that every year they'll win the Super Bowl. But if he's healthy and they're suiting up, I don't know if I'll be picked. It's gonna be a while before I pick against Mahomes again.
Real talk. We'll see the Chiefs. This is a contention on where Lamar goes. I will say that.
And Caleb Williams.
And Caleb Williams. And Bryce Young, honestly. But this is really contingent on where Lamar goes. But I think we'll see Chiefs, Bengals in the AFC Championship probably 4 or 5 more times. Okay. But for both of them retired, we'll see that a good
Jags too.
Yeah.
Trev. Speaking of that, today is officially the day Calvin Ridley can be reinstated.
Yes. And talking about these quarterbacks leads me to my next question. After the Super Bowl, who are your top 7 quarterbacks in the NFL in order?
In order is going to be, so Mahomes, Burrow.
Okay.
I'm going to go Hurts.
Okay.
I'm going to go Hurts, then I'm going to go Trevor, Josh Allen, Herbert.
That's 6. Lamar. I'll just finish.
No. My bad. Move Lamar above Trevor and Josh Allen and Herbert.
Okay, bad. All right, so I think we have the same listing. Of course, number 1 by a gap with a gap in between everybody else is Mahomes.
It's like we got to start taking him off certain lists.
Yeah. So number 1 with the gap is Mahomes. Number 2 is Burrow. Right now, I have Jalen at 3.
Yeah.
Because these are projections, so going into next year, I think the only thing he has to work on is getting better at throwing, and I think he'll do that. So I have him at 3. At 4, I have Lamar. I think Lamar. I'll explain. But yeah, at 4 I have Lamar. 5 I have Trevor at 5. I really do. I think Josh has to show me something next year.
Yeah, because
Josh played terrible the last 10 weeks of the season. There's no excuse for it. He played terrible.
Went out super sad.
Went out super bad. At 6, I have Justin Herbert. No, at 6 I have Josh Allen. He deserves it over. 7, I have Justin Herbert. I really don't even know who 8, 9, and 10 would be right now. Seriously.
I have Goff right at 8. I love Jared Goff.
I don't mind that. I said, I don't know. You got Goff, you can throw in there. Kirk had a great year. Russell Wilson.
Justin Fields creeping up.
Yes, Justin Fields is going to be creeping up there next year. Bryce Young might be ready to go.
Hey, I'm telling you, Bryce Young, Caleb Williams.
But yeah, those will be my top 7 definitive, no question, right now. So yeah, we can transition out of football. We'll jump back into Super Bowl a little bit later if we feel like it. But we are back. So took a little break. My bad. We talked for a long time. But to the NBA, All-Star Weekend is this weekend. One of the saddest All-Star weekends in recent memory because everybody's hurt right now.
Yeah.
And we talked about that a couple of weeks ago about why players are continuing to get hurt and we lost the show. So I do want to have that conversation real quick again. These kids are playing too much basketball.
Yep.
It's genuinely what I think. You see the older players don't get hurt like that.
PJ Tucker.
PJ Tucker doesn't really get hurt. and I'm not talking about Kawhi Leonard and PG and AD and all that. I'm talking about like Dame had his first major injury last year. Steph gets little ticky-tacky ankle injuries, but he's not like the strains and the pulls and all of that. He doesn't deal with that. Like every injury Steph has been something happened to him. Yeah. So it's like just freak accidents basically. Even Draymond for that.
He slipped on that water in Houston.
But that was crazy. But Draymond, Clay, like the older Braun never got hurt, obviously. Yeah. Russ always is healthy, other than the year that Patrick Beverley knocked his knee out. Like the older players that didn't play that much AAU, you see throughout their career they have been available when it matters. And we're starting to see these young players get hurt a lot, and I just really think it has a lot to do with the AAU, bro. I think these kids play too much AAU. They play too much basketball during the summers. You went from in high school, maybe if you had a really good team, you was playing 45, 50 games a year. To these kids are playing hundreds and hundreds of games. Not hundreds and hundreds, but a couple, like 120, maybe, bro. You wake up on Saturday, Friday you play 2 games sometimes. Saturday you gonna play 3-4 games. Sunday you make it to championship, you play 2-3 games. Like it's just too much to do every weekend. Then go play high school basketball,
and you're still 18, so and you're still going to hoop.
You're still going to hoop. Yes, you're still going to hoop. Hang out with your friends. You still got to train because you got to get better. Like it's just too much basketball, too much stress on your body. And then on top of that, you're doing all of that, and you're young, so you're eating like shit. Mm-hmm. So you're not replenishing your body how it should be replenished if you're doing that. So you're building bad habits. It's just really too much. But I do want to start. We'll start with the Eastern Conference at the top, man. Boy, Giannis has been on it. Fucking. And I meant to say this last week when we were talking about Braun. Shout out to you again about breaking the scoring record. But consistency has become boring, especially in the sports world. We get tired of it because it's not necessarily we get tired of it. It's just that we're so used to it. It's nothing to talk about.
Right. Yeah. We're looking to see what can we not expect.
Exactly. So Giannis is just being so consistent, and he has been averaging. I think he's averaging 38 and 13 at 6 over the past 10, 12, 15 games. Like something stupid. So, are we on a collision course to this Bucks Celtics Eastern Conference Finals?
I don't think so.
Really?
I don't think so. I don't think we're on a collision course. I'm still holding out my preseason upset alert for the Eastern Conference. I think the Cavs will be able to beat one of those teams and make it to the Eastern Conference Finals with the players that they have. I still don't think the Bucks have just enough, but I think Giannis is such a great player, such a dominant player, all time. Everything you can say about Giannis, he is multiple MVP. This time in the regular season, we've seen it before where Steph did it, Braun did it, Kobe did it a couple times where, Chris Middleton's not playing, I got to step on this gas real quick. And what we've seen over this stretch is, he's really stepping on this gas. His usage rate is up there with prime Harden, almost at 40% a game, where he is dominating these games start to finish because he can, basically. Yes. And I think that's what it is. But I think in the playoffs, when you're going to be playing better defenses, you're going to be playing, people just care. People really just care. Because, stepping in front of Giannis, Game 3 of, Eastern Conference Finals, and taking that charge a little different than stepping in front of Giannis, Game 45, we're in Milwaukee.
On a
back-to-back. We tipped off at 5 p.m. Maybe he just gets this layup. Maybe he just wants this layup a little more than I do.
Simple as that. Simple as that. He's getting paid way more money than I am. Yeah. So maybe he wants to. Yeah, I feel the same way, bro. Like, as I just said, consistency is boring, and not to just pile on that, but like we've seen this before. Like we've seen Giannis dominate throughout the regular season, and a player like Giannis is going to dominate from January to March. It makes perfect sense because that's the low point of the NBA season where folks like you've gotten your jitters out, you kind of know who you are as a team. Unless you are this year in the West is a little bit different story, but for them, like they know who they are as a team.
Teams entering that mode.
The teams that suck, the bottom the 7 to 15 know they ass. I know they ain't gonna make no real noise. So you just out here trying to get your buckets, get your next contract and shit. So that is a time where a player like Giannis is going to thrive. It reminds me of, not to bring up my favorite team all the time, but it reminds me of just simply the old Heat teams. Yeah. The old Heat teams when they were just better than you. And the old Warriors teams, it was like January through March, they just would go 21 and set forward over.
Yeah, over and because this is the pod, we can say it how it is. Like, niggas playing like tryhards. Like, them niggas just trying to play like nerds. Like it's mid-February. Like, why Braun coming through on the weak side to take away this layup? Like, bro, you trying so hard for it. Like, I feel like every time I cut on a Bucks game, at least one time a game, niggas just looking around like, oh my God, this nigga Giannis is trying so hard. Like, yeah, bro. Getting 3 shots on a possession, get a layup, go get the block. Like, niggas like, yo, fam,
good, bro.
Yo, we just hooping right now, bro.
This is pickup time, bro. Chill.
Nigga like Giannis out the month. Don't know what that means. Like,
don't have a clue. So that's kind of why I'm not looking at the Bucks like, oh my God, they're just so good. Do I think they're coming out the East? I don't know. Maybe. I really like the Celtics. I really like the Celtics, and the thing that the Celtics have that the Bucks just don't is Jason Tatum. And I don't think Jason Tatum is better than Giannis, but I think he can impact the game more than Giannis can because of the size for sure. Boston has. Robert Williams, they just got Mike Muscala, who's not going to stop Giannis. I know that. He's just a body you can throw at him, give him some fouls, wear him down. Things like that.
Can shoot to pull Giannis.
Can shoot to pull Giannis or Brook Lopez out the paint. And Al Horford has been phenomenal these past 2 seasons in Boston, playing great defense. So Grant Williams, who... Don't know what you were doing last night.
Ain't no telling what's on Al Horford drug test. There ain't no telling what's wrong with the Al Horford phase, bro. Listen, we grew up in Atlanta. This is not the Al Horford we grew up on, bro. This nigga switching 1 through 5.
Bro, I'm like, what is going on? Bro, he was guarding Steph last finals. Like, what the hell? You stand in front of bro? Like,
them niggas getting a switch, he waving niggas off.
I got him. But yeah, bro, like, so with Boston, I'm not sold on the Bucks, like just running away. But yeah, they gonna be right there. And but to your point with the Cavs, they would have to, if they can get the 3 seed and play the Bucks in the second round. I think it's possible. I think it's possible for them to beat the Bucks. I don't think they beat the Celtics, but I think it's very possible for them to beat the Bucks because what scares me about the Bucks is not the offensive ability. They don't have no crazy shooters. Like it's not. They just have Giannis and like. A bunch of good guys, and then Chris Middleton is a 18-point guy, and Jay Crowder. But what scares me about them is their defense. Their defense is, if they want to roll out a lineup with Drew Holiday, Chris Middleton, Jay Crowder, Giannis, and Brook Lopez, it's going to be real hard to score on them. So that's my issue is them being able to just go on 14-0 runs, 16-0 runs, just because of how suffocating their defense will be. That's what scares me most about Milwaukee.
Exactly, and that's why I think Cleveland's such a bad matchup for Milwaukee because of how big they are naturally. So them having Giannis and Brook Lopez out there naturally kind of plays into how they want to play with Jared Allen and Evan Mobley together. So, and I agree with you there that the Celtics would be the less favorable matchup because it's a lot easier to stop Drew Holiday and Grayson Allen on the perimeter than it's going to be to stop Jalen Brown and Jason Tatum from scoring from the perimeter. Because that's one of the strengths of the Celtics where they can score on the perimeter in a variety of different ways with Brogdon, Tatum, Brown, Marcus Smart shoots to 3. So I would much rather than play the Bucks, but I think they're scary. They're dynamic enough to compete out east with a lot of different teams.
Yeah, they are. They are. So
free Trae Young, by the way.
Free Trae Young, by the way.
We just gotta throw that out there.
I have a question. The buyout market is here. Patrick Beverley is on the buyout market. Russell Westbrook, who's who I want to talk about, though. What team do you think should be looking to get Russ?
Denver, pick up the phone. ASAP. Denver, get Westbrook in the building and now. If there's any team in the league that can mitigate Westbrook not being able to shoot, it's you. And you know what Westbrook is? What the Lakers were doing with Westbrook? It was defense, energy, and intensity off the bench. That is what you need, especially in the playoffs. He's a veteran. He's been around. He's played in these big moments. But him being able to play with Jokic takes away so much pressure from him having to constantly shoot. We've seen this with players like Aaron Gordon who struggled because they couldn't really space the floor, get to Denver, and are amazing because I am a good cutter. I know when to cut. I'm going to play downhill. I mean, imagine the easy points he's going to get throughout games just from him being able not to have to bring the ball up. Where he's already, contesting the three, he can literally turn around, ball might be in the air.
Yeah.
I think the Nuggets is a perfect place. It's a quiet place. We're not gonna send you to LA, LA where you come from, big market, or New York is a real quiet place. The team's already good. We're not gonna ask you to come in and put the team on your shoulders. But listen, that first round playoff series, Jamal Murray needs a break. Western Conference, Jordan Poole get off the bench. I don't mind Westbrook getting off the bench where he can push the pace and get all these others where during Jokic minutes, it's Jokic time. Jokic's going to have the ball. You're not going to need to shoot. But when you get off the bench, like you did in LA, you can get all these others little buckets, get everybody else eating. That's where I think you need to go.
You sold me.
No,
that's not what I was saying. That's not what I was going to say. I think you just sold me, bro. Like, real shit. Like, that was...
Yeah.
I think he fits perfectly there. The only stipulation I have about that is, does he want to come off the bench?
Exactly.
Because I feel like he felt, and this is all me just thinking about who Russ is as a person. Yeah. I think he felt a little humiliated by them coming off the bench.
A little try, too.
Yeah, because, look who you starting in front of me and look at the result. It's not like we're winning or nothing.
Yeah.
But Denver makes sense for him to come off the bench. So maybe he would. And if you just lost Bones, who was giving you 22 minutes a game. So if you can guarantee Russ 30 minutes a game, 32 minutes a game off the bench, and guarantee most games he's going to be closing or at least in 3-4 minutes, and then if you got to pull him out offense, defense, whatever, that's one thing. But yeah, I love that because like you said, I think he will work perfect with Jokic. I think him running that bench would be amazing for them. They just got the backup center they just got? Thomas Bryant, who he has chemistry with, because Russ has been phenomenal in the pick and roll. That's probably been the best part of his game this year is him in the pick and roll. So with that, I'm looking at that you completely right about that.
Yeah, no, definitely. I think we'd be perfect because
you're completely right about that. That's crazy.
Westbrook they are missing some serious on that team.
Yeah.
They are missing some lock the fuck in on this team. On a team that is a little cutesy, a little light, a little, Jamal Murray, Michael Porter, Jokic. They are missing a little toughness on that team. I think Westbrook can bring that. And I think what Westbrook can provide off the bench, especially like you said, coming off the bench for Patrick Beverley is disrespectful. But, hey.
No offense, Patrick. That's my dog.
Yeah, no disrespect for sure. Shout out to Pat Bev. But that's Jamal Murray. That's max contract Jamal Murray. He's not going anywhere. Coming in that your job is going to be come off the bench. But what's not going to happen is you're not going to be treated the way you were in LA. Exactly. They're not going to persecute you for your mistakes. And him being able to play a different style of basketball is okay in Denver because they already play a different style of basketball.
Facts. And lastly, one of the biggest reasons Russ wasn't able to be effective as he was supposed to be was because there was no space in LA. There's all the space you need.
And listen,
he would just work so well with Jokic. He's such a good passer. He's great in pick and roll. He would work well.
A lot of people killing Westbrook for how bad the spacing was in LA, and it's still bad. And you want to know why? Because it's threefold. Anthony Davis. When the last time we saw Anthony Davis have a good game from deep? I don't need a month. I don't need a stretch. When's the last time he went out and went 3 for 6? I can't think of it. He's catching the ball. Team's not even closing out.
I can tell you. Yeah, bro. I completely agree with you. You sold me on that. I had two teams though. The first team I think you're gonna like. The first team I'll say was the Heat. I already brought up the Heat. I brought up why replacing Kyle Lowry with Russ is a no-brainer to me. But I don't think that gets them to beat the Celtics or the Bucks. So I would be great for Russ, but not really. It wouldn't be a lifesaver for them, but it might get them a couple more regular season wins. But the team I was gonna say is somewhere I knew he could go start. I knew he would help the locker room, and he might help them win a playoff series. And that was the Timberwolves.
Oh yeah, I can see it in Minnesota. Yeah,
they just lost their point guard.
Yeah,
I don't even know who's starting up. Who's starting over there right now?
Mike Conley.
It's Mike. Yeah, okay.
You see Kyrie drop him?
Yeah. My bad.
Kyrie almost ripped the soles off that boy's shoes. What a fix, man.
So you get in there, and you start.
Yep.
And now he's the next Ant. And as we said, Ant just need a real nigga next to him.
Oh God!
And now you got a real nigga next to Ant, who Ant is gonna look at and be like, okay, although I'm a lot taller than you and I shoot probably better than you have in a while, our games are similar. Right. The way you attack the hole, the way you know how to attack the hole, the way you know how to adjust your body, all of those things he could learn from him. And it would just be somebody he could look at and respect, and he could get control of that locker room. Now, I do think coaching is a problem. I do think him on the court with Rudy Gobert will never work.
Oh, that was
terrible idea. But that's more so Rudy Gobert's fault than it is Russ. So I think Russ, I don't know if he wants to take his family to Minnesota and get in Minnesota. I don't know if he wants to do that. But that would be a great place for Russ.
Yeah, no, and Ant could look at him. Because, I mean, Ant did come into the league as a PG before he got taller. But he could look at Westbrook as, you know, this is where I'm trying to go.
Yes.
Our careers, I may want to take it a different path, but you were an all-time great. You were a downhill player. And Westbrook, a former MVP, like, you know, and he is, like I said, like he would bring to Denver. Minnesota needs a lot of serious, you know, with Karl-Anthony Towns in that locker room, Rudy Gobert, and there's not a lot of serious going on. And Mike Conley, I like Mike Conley there for that reason, for the serious, but, you know, I don't like that, you know, he starts and plays like minutes. Like
it's Mike Conley. Like unfortunately.
In the Western Conference, Mike Conley is guarding point guards that you need.
Okay. Not gonna work. Yeah, so what are you expecting just for fun? I mean, it don't matter because I will say this. Before I say it doesn't matter. The NBA needs to do a way better job at marketing and getting people involved in All-Star Weekend. All-Star Weekend used to be a moment, and it still kind of is because the game is still great. The game has actually gotten a little bit better. But the All-Star Weekend festivities need to get back to what they were.
Oh, yeah. Oh, my God.
And I think, unfortunately, it is on the players. Yeah. Part of what made All-Star Weekend so great was the stars participated in everything.
For sure.
I don't know when they all got too cool to do anything, but that needs to change. And it's cool if you have a couple of not as known guys in the dunk contest, because some of them bench dudes like Derrick Jones Jr.'s. Right. At the time, Aaron Gordon wasn't a known superstar or nothing like that. Some of them just are out of this world jumpers. But John needs to be in the dunk contest. Zion needs to participate in the dunk contest. The three-point shootout is great every single year. Yeah. But this brings me to my point, just for fun. Who do you have win the dunk contest? Jericho Sims, Mac McClung. Don't know why that happened. Trey Murphy or Kenyon Martin Jr.
I'm gonna go Mac McClung because he shouldn't be there. We all lose though. We're all gonna lose that dunk contest. It's just like you said. The dunk contest used to really mean something. Man. Like it used to be. It was the main event of the All-Star Weekend festivities. Yes. Where this is what it was at the end of the night. It was always great because even when the best players didn't come, it was always great to see at least elite players and other elite players courtside excited to see what these guys are gonna do. Like, of course, everyone does this, and this is, of course, is the best way to look at it. Like, when's the most recent best one we had? We had Zach LaVine and a bunch of all-stars behind him. It was a bunch of great dunks that night where everyone was really excited. Like, yo, he finna do some crazy shit. Yes. Like, everyone, like, you see the best players ever, like, he do a dunk. Yes. And Westbrook and James Harden is like, oh, shit. Like, that's how I know it's crazy. Exactly. Now it's like, all right, you know, Mac McClung, like... One of the All-Star contestants, they got signed, I think, by the Bulls recently, like on a 10-day or something, just to throw on the jersey for an afternoon. Like it's so mid. But what I don't understand, like especially for a guy like Ja, like this is my first year with a shoe deal. No one at Nike understanding like what this can do for your career, like. What this exposure, because like if Ja wins the dunk contest, like it's only gonna take one person. Like Zach LaVine won the dunk contest for Aaron Gordon. Like, all right, yeah, we'll lock in. Let's do this shit for real.
Exactly.
Like Ja's not gonna get out of bed for Mac McClung.
Yes.
So
Ja will get out of bed. If Zion hit Ja and be like, come on, bro, let's give him a shot. He'll do it. But it has to be two. For the dunk contest, it got to be two people. Like. It has to be Ja and who else be jumping for real?
And you know what's crazy? I don't even think it needs to be the best dunkers off jump. Like if Zion and Jalen Brown do it, Jalen Brown, not one of the best dunkers in the league, but for sure, what gets up enough in the dunk contest would be creative enough to do some things to where the event is more than just, oh yeah, this is after the 3-point contest.
Yeah.
Like, all right. Like,
yeah. Damn near like the 3-point contest has become the highlight of the night. Like,
right, that's where you see Tatum at.
A couple of people have been like, we should just move the 3-point contest last.
Oh yeah, Reggie said that shit every year, and he's right. Like,
man, so I have Kenyon Martin Jr. winning it. I would have had Shaedon Sharp winning it. Don't know why he jumped out because he was like, I want to focus on the Blazers season, but they suck. So I don't know why he said that.
The Blazers are so bad.
But shout out to Dame though. You've been cooking. So I have Kenyon Martin Jr. winning it.
Pillow over.
He did, bro.
I said, hold this, bro.
Bro, that fadeaway he hit at the end of the buzzer.
Oh yeah,
nuts.
Oh, yeah.
God,
easy money.
But who do you have winning the dunk contest? I mean, 3-point shooter. Jason Tatum. Kevin Huerter.
Kevin Huerter hasn't made a 3 all 2023. He's gonna win the dunk contest. He's been cold all this calendar year. I feel like this is gonna be, he'll get back on track. I don't know why. Didn't Jason Tatum stink it up a couple years?
Yes, yeah. I think that might have been last year he did. But yeah. I don't think it's Jason Tatum. Jason Tatum is an off the dribble shooter.
Yeah. They should have somebody contest the shot.
Kevin Huerter, let me shoot a step back. Yeah. Kevin Huerter was my pick, but since Ish picked him, I'll pick somebody else. I am going to go Dame. I'm going to say Dame wins one. Okay. And then his fans, I'll say he shoots better than Steph.
Dame did say he was the second best shooter ever. And Clay came in and showed him what the second best shooter ever looks like. Maybe you should win this 3-point contest, Dame.
Right. I want to see Dame, Steph, and Clay in a 3-point shooting contest next year.
They should shoot 100 of them. That's what I want to see. I'll tell you who really shoots. Steph go 95 for 100. Like.
So, last thing before we wrap up. Braun's foot.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Are you worried?
Yes. And I'm not worried because of Braun. And I think I said this last time we talked. It looked like AD knew something, bro. It looked like AD knew something. And it does look like, as they're talking about it, as work. Because, things come out for reasons. Now they're saying we might have played Braun too much. We need to turn down his minutes now that he's got the record. It looked like AD knew that he's been... that, especially because that game, it was flaring up so bad. It looked like AD knew LeBron was like hurting himself trying to go get this record. And I think that's what is happening. I really hope Braun, this All-Star break, I really hope he's able to heal up because he's not going to be able to play less. Because they stink when he plays. Yes. You can't ask him to play less. Y'all already stink.
Yeah.
So it's... I really hope Braun is able to heal up these next couple weeks. But if he's not, it's not on Braun.
Fuck.
This on you, 3. This on you, AD.
It is.
Because this was supposed to be your team.
Yes.
This was supposed to be your team 2 years ago.
They said they built the team for
I was going to win this championship in this bubble, and I was going to hand it off. And you came in out of shape. You said you ain't had nothing to prove. You the one who can't shoot threes no more. So if Braun needs time to heal up, this should be just like it is in Golden State, next man up, we got to figure something out till he get back. It's not going to be, we're going to roll into Portland versus Devin Eubanks and stink it up.
You're crazy.
And stink it up.
Devin
Eubanks, bro.
Crazy.
Bro, who people don't even know who that is, bro. Like that, like who, bro. This on you, AD, and I think that's why he was looking like that because it's gonna be on him. And we talk a lot about it's toxic to play around Braun because a lot of people get blamed they shouldn't have. Nah, you gonna deserve this one. Mm-hmm. You gonna wear this one if you blow this season for
question. No question.
Listen, it was Rob's fault early. Listen, we got Westbrook out of here. We got y'all some shooting. We got y'all some height. Everything is here. Malik Beasley had 5 threes in the fourth quarter of the other game. You know what they didn't have? A superstar to take them home. Versus a team with one player over 6'9".
All right, so...
This nigga played a college team. This nigga just played UNC and they lost.
So, I agree with you on the Braun point. Actually, I agree with you pretty much everything you said. But the Braun point especially, it scares me. I've been saying consistently for the past 2 years, anytime Braun hurts foot, knee, ankle, groin, it scares me. Yeah. Those are the parts, groin and Groin and ankle have been a constant problem for him his whole career.
Yeah.
Well, not whole career, but the back half of it. And the knee is just an old guy thing. It scares me anytime a knee is messed up for anybody over 34, 33. And the foot thing is now a bad thing because Braun is a big dude. He relies on his strength and his power to get to the hole to open up his jump shot and open up the mid-range. So it does scare me. Also, it scares me even more because I don't know if y'all noticed, but the Lakers are the 13th seed. The Lakers are 26 and 32, dog. The Lakers are they're bad.
Fam, they're 6 games under 500, and they're like, yeah, Braun should play less. What do you mean play less?
What do you mean? Like, he can't do that. So it's scary, bro. It's scary, and luckily, from 7 to 13, everybody sucked too.
Yep.
Everybody. Pelicans, Timberwolves, Warriors, Jazz, Trailblazers, Thunder, and Lakers all suck right now.
Yep.
Only team I'm really expecting to make a big jump is the Warriors. They don't have one of the 3 best players in the NBA right now, so you know how that goes. I think once they get Steph back, their shooters starting to catch fire, and they get that rotation solidified to where those Ty Jerome and Anthony Lamb don't have to play anymore. They'll be fine. Hey, Steve Curry, if you make me watch Anthony Lamb play for 3 more games, I swear to God, I'm coming to the Bay, bro. I swear I am. I
probably still got this tweet up. But I was like, anytime I see Ty Jerome minutes, I know Steve Kerr not locked in. Anytime Ty Jerome step on the court, I just know he don't care what's going to happen, bro.
Like, you can't care, bro. I watch Anthony Lamb. Anthony Lamb can't guard a soul, bro. No. Can't guard a fucking soul, bro. And I know Steve Kerr be seeing that, bro. I know you do, bro.
You know what
I be screaming in my house, bro.
I guess because Steph not playing is not, you don't see this problem. But even before, Anthony Lamb used to make me mad because Anthony Lamb don't be passing the ball.
Bro, like, who do you think you are, bro? Bro, nah, bro, you make me mad for real, bro.
Dog, he get the rebound, start dribbling. Nigga, where are you going? Where are you going with the ball?
What do you think this is, dog?
Hey man, everybody's the star of their own movie, bro. Anthony Lamb get the rebound, he start looking up court, pointing.
Bro, oh my God. Y'all gonna make me, I'm gonna scream. I'm gonna scream.
I saw your tweets yesterday. I was crying reading them tweets.
Bro, said Steve Kerr just don't respect me, bro. Like, he's not giving me the respect I give him, bro. I mean, bro, I called you a top 5 coach ever at one point, bro. I think you a top 3 coach in the league right now. I be giving you your flowers,
bro. You just don't respect me.
Bro, you just aren't respecting me at this point, bro. I watch every game, bro, and you got me watching Anthony Lamb night
Fam,
after
no cap,
night.
no exaggeration. I think I might have cut it off mid-3rd quarter. Whenever Poole went to the bench, it was like Anthony Lamb, DiVincenzo, Looney,
and
Ty Jerome. And I'm just watching them swinging around like a bad rec team.
Man, Steve Kerr, you don't respect me, bro. Last team, though, Mavericks.
Listen, it's
good.
42,000 Division II college point guards out there that can create a shot. And the Warriors can't find one.
Bro said 42,000.
You see the Mavericks?
Yeah, I do. By the way, last thing, I do want them to pick up Patrick Beverly. While Gary Payton is out, Patrick Beverly would be a great pickup just for them. Because it's not the offense. I keep saying it's not the offense. It's the defense.
Yeah.
The offense is going to come. I'm never worried about the offense. The offense has worked in every single playoff since they started.
And I'm
not worried about that.
I like Nerlens Noel, too. I think Nerlens Noel will fit really well.
We need one more piece, bro.
Yeah.
They need one more piece. Until Gary Payton comes out.
You might have to suit up. You might have to lead the second unit.
Man.
I ain't gonna lie.
But yeah, the Mavericks. By the way, shout out Chris Paul, 17-19 last night. That was crazy. But yeah, the Mavericks. Kyrie, look at that. Last play the other night was hilarious.
Oh yeah.
Don't expect too much more than that.
Yeah, no. That just growing pains, but you saw in that 4th quarter. You saw in that 4th quarter what Kyrie was doing, man. Hey, that is
11 for 12 for 26.
In just the 4th quarter. And that it wasn't against no slouches. It wasn't against no slouches. That wasn't no soft coverage. They were smothering him. Man, that I think the Mavericks are going to be really I think it'll be really tough to beat 4 times in 2 weeks.
That's going to be a tough out, bro.
Yeah, listen, it's a stars league. Shout out Steph Curry. I hope you're having a great day. You asking
your lunch, son.
Listen, you asking your stars. And you know what? This is not even for Steph Curry. This is Ja, Jokic, AD, these stars who we ain't seen them really have to kick it into high gear. you know what your team asking you to do? For 4 games in 2 weeks, you're going to have to outperform Luka and Kyrie in the fourth quarter. Because that's what the playoffs come down to.
Good luck.
Come on, bro. Because if he's hitting things like this, man, if he's making shots like this, I don't know, man. Because he plays so well off Luka already. He plays so well off Luka, moving without the ball, getting other people involved, getting oops for their bigs, getting corner threes. The Mavs are passing the ball way better. Oh, I'm so glad we're here. Man, oh my God. I don't think it was this game. I think the game before, the game they were missing Luka. Jason Kidd coaching Kyrie Irving is very different than what Steve Nash was doing with Kyrie Irving. And it's what we thought he would do. No Luka, Kyrie comes off the pick and roll, trap him on the baseline. He tries to hold it to wait for the pass. Next play, they call a timeout. Run the same play. Instead of waiting for the double, he throws it early, pass, layup. Because Jason Kidd understands the third level of being the best PG in the league. And understanding that I know it's usually right to wait for this double, but they're waiting for you to wait for this double. So if you just say, fuck it, skip the screen and skip the ball over, we already have the numbers advantage. And it was just that one thing.
That's simple.
And you're adding that to the best fourth quarter scorer in the league. And then you take that, once Luka's finally healthy, that's 30-something points a game from just Luka. Because I don't think he'll keep scoring 35 a game with Kyrie there because he's not going to be asked to do as much, but you're looking at like what? 55 on a medium night from them. 55 points, 12 assists, 18 rebounds between 2 players on a medium night.
Medium. They can go for 40 easy, a couple times. Easy.
Listen, I've been on the other side of this a couple times. Between my Warriors, like my love with the Warriors, and being a Spurs fan, you don't want to be on the other side of one of those nights where Kyrie and whatever his top 10 whatever player next to him decide for to make it that night. Because I was there when Kyrie had 50 and Bron had 40. And it was not it's just nothing you can do.
Was it 60? You talking about the Spurs night?
Yeah.
I think it was 59.
It was 59, yeah.
59. That's the best game Kyrie ever played. That 3 he hit to send it in overtime was one of the craziest shots ever.
Bro,
boy.
He caught the ball and started moving. I was like, is he going to be able to stop before the line? To this, I don't know how he did it. If you look at the replay, it's like this much space between his foot and the line. Like, it wasn't even close.
Man. But before we go, I do want to ask you, where is everybody? As far as music, what the hell is happening? It's mid-February. Ain't nobody drop shit.
Well, Black is about to drop. Shout out Mr. Valentine. Well, his Black's last name actually is Valentine.
I don't know if people know that. Yeah. I thought that shit was so hard.
Yeah, his last name is actually Valentine. So he's dropping soon. But listen, Beyonce going on tour. Rhianna said she's going on tour. But I did see something the other day. It's that time. It's been 2 years.
Tyler.
It's time for a Tyler album. And they're saying Pusha T and DJ Drama have something.
Yes, that is real. They have both confirmed that.
That's going to be crazy.
Push
on a crazy run, man.
So, yeah, bro, I've been wondering where the stars are because last year we got hit heavy quick. It was Dirk, it was Gunna at the weekend. Chains, Conway, Benny, like Griselda, all of them dropped before March. Yeah. We had like 4 or 5 albums out by now at this point in time last year, so I'm just confused on where the major albums are. Obviously, no Gunna situation.
You know what it is.
Baby just dropped,
and we got to shout her out. 8 straight weeks at #1.
Yeah.
Since it has sold over 1 million records already, 8 straight weeks at #1. First album to do that since Views.
Wow.
First album to do that since Views. I think Views was on #1 for 13 weeks.
Wow. Shout out to SZA, man. She is cooking. That album is a masterpiece.
I listen to that intro every day.
That album is a masterpiece. From Gone Girl to Notice Me, Snooze, it's a masterpiece. But yeah, I was wondering where the artists were. I did want to talk about Black. Black is on the way for sure. He's posted on his story where it said album 3 and it said 5 days.
Daniel Caesar's dropping.
April 7th. I'm actually excited for that. His last album was a little mid-pack, so I'm excited to see how he's come after getting actually one of the first people to be successfully canceled. So I'm excited to hear that.
It's crazy. People are like, man, So this is the part. We can talk about this. So they were like, yeah, we gonna cancel him. They're like, why? What did you do? He said something about white women. And everybody clicks his face like, damn, this nigga's ugly. And then they just canceled him.
Bro.
Like, how you know?
Yo, that's what happened. Like,
can't.
not even to be rude or nothing. Like, that's seriously just what happened.
Yo,
it's so crazy.
He's like, yo, I can't believe he's this ugly. And he just got it. Him and Brother Nature, the first two people I've ever seen for real get canceled. Because if you want to have a funny afternoon, click Brother Nature replies. Brother Nature replies to this day still the funniest shit ever. Because just everybody reminded, oh yeah, I remember you saw you get your ass beat.
Bro, people are so mean.
He posts anything. Niggas be in the prize like, he think we forgot.
Bro, it's like, yo, what's good with y'all, bro?
He thought we forgot.
What is good with y'all? Also, did you hear that the baby song?
I did not. I saw the tweet. No, I saw your tweet. You said, I know you don't think this is a good song, and I did click it. Because it looked like, no offense to the baby, it just looked like some dumb shit.
Bro, like,
it just looked like some dumb shit.
Bro, the beat sounded like it was far away from him, like when he was rapping.
I read the reply. So I just show on time where I won't watch the video, but I'll read the replies. Niggas in the replies like, did you lay the verse before they put the beat in? Like, it sounded like he just sent a verse out and they just put a beat behind it.
It sounded terrible. So I don't know what the baby is trying to do in his career. And the baby, I think you can rejuvenate your career. I think the baby has some talent and he has a space. He's still getting 30 million monthly listeners on Spotify. So it's not like it's completely gone.
Yeah.
I just think you need to revamp what you're doing, bro. People are tired of you. Like, yeah, you got a little canceled, but it's more so people just got tired of your music and your antics, bro. Like, just get with some good producers. It's gonna cost you some money, but get with some better producers. Get with some people that's gonna cause you to work. Just don't be in the studio doing the same shit over. Work as an artist, bro. Like. Become a better artist, become a better rapper. Rapping is a skill. People are always talking about your flows and how they're the same. That is a skill you can work on. That's something you can work on. You have all the time in the world. Your job is to rap. So work on it. I just don't understand that. And I think one of the people who I wanted to jump to in a second was Wayne. Is like, he lived in the studio, and he said he lived in the studio. I used to be like, bro, like, what do you mean you in the studio all day? And what do you mean you record 40, 50 songs in a day? And it's not like I'm finna report 30 of these songs don't even have a chance of coming out.
Right.
I'm just hearing this beat and I'm working on rapping and rhyming words together and getting different phrases because I'm practicing. I'm literally just practicing a skill. It's reps. It's just natural reps. So you rap on different beats, you try different flows, and you work on them, and then you put a project together. But that's the issue. But yeah, Wayne is coming. He just posted some shit on his story, which he started using Instagram. That shit made me mad. But he posted Swiss Beats today. They were filming a music video, so and he said loading, like, so if Wayne don't tease nothing, and like his team don't tease nothing.
Hey, listen, if they shooting the video already, let's hear that, bitch.
Yeah, man, Wayne and Swiss ain't cooked up nothing in a minute. So.
Hey, listen, Wayne a grown-ass man. Wayne not just shooting a video just because we got a single coming out. Like,
Wayne, that's what I'm saying. I'm not just shooting a video for a single. I'm
going,
that
shit for the slap. Yeah, that shit for the slap.
Wayne is finna drop. So every time Wayne shoot a video, it's for a song that matters. So, I'm excited for this.
I want to add this because I feel like somebody needs to be on his side. And I think I'm going to do it. I want Chance to drop this year. I'm on Chance's side this year, man. I listened to some old Chance rappers the other day, man.
Tyrone still be sending me Chance Instagram videos. I'd be like, stop.
Bro, I was listening to some old Chance the other day, man, having the time of my life. Like, damn, what happened, bro? Like,
yeah, I don't know.
And you know what?
I don't know.
Hey, throw it out, Mulligan. You dropped an ass album. Cool, listen. Let's get past it. Let's drop something this year, Chance. That's good, bro. Cause listen, niggas will forget, man, quick.
Niggas will forget.
They used to say Thug fell off. It was like, man, why Thug ain't mainstream? Fam, sometimes it take a little. There's no linear path. There's no linear path.
I agree with you though. I would like to see Chance just get back to Chance and drop some music that.
Cause it's just sad now.
It is.
They was like, oh, I'm gonna kill myself.
Bro, they was.
It was like, I can't believe you want me to kill myself.
Yeah, I was like, oh my god, man. Yo, but for real, I do want you to get back. They were saying you was gonna be Drake, dude. Like they was like,
bro, he won 3 Grammys. He won 3 Grammys on a mixtape.
Yo, he was supposed to be Drake. Like they was like, who's gonna replace Drake? And niggas was like, Chance.
Oh yeah, Chance the next one.
Yo,
nobody tell Drake, I guess.
Nobody told Chance either, obviously. So
it's crazy. I'll be listening to Drake like, oh yeah, the niggas he be talking about, he talking about Chance. Like, he talking about Chance the Rapper.
Hey man, I will say lastly, I was listening to Take Care the other day, and Drake said, we will see who will be around a decade from now.
Yeah.
It has been a decade.
Still a decade.
Hey.
There's not a lot of niggas around.
Nobody's around.
Not a lot of niggas around.
The niggas that he came in with, they're gone. And I don't think he was talking about Kendrick and Cole. And if he was, then that's okay, because they're still here.
Let me ask you something. Is Usher Beyonce's peer?
All right. All right, we'll end with this for real. Oh, we didn't talk about Rihanna's halftime show. But
oh, yeah.
Those are the last two things with this. So I'll start with this. No. No. In the conversation. Rihanna,
It was on Twitter like, how is it Usher Beyonce's peer? They used to sing together. That's not how that works. That's not how peers work.
And yo, shout out to Usher for real. Usher's catalog is crazy.
Yeah.
Usher been going crazy in Vegas for the past year.
Shout out to the residency.
Yo, Usher been doing his thing. Usher finna drop a new album that's gonna sell 21K. Like, shout out to Usher for real. I'm not even throwing a shot. I'm just saying that's what it's gonna do. That's what it's gonna do. I'm not even trying to be funny. His fans just don't know how to find his music. They don't. Folks ain't heard Confessions in 30 years. It's like, why?
That's crazy, bro. Like, they're like, bro, look at what he did in 2006. Like, what are you talking about?
Yo, but like Usher is him. Like Usher is him. I don't want you to think one of the greatest male R&B singers ever. Like him for real. But please, please, and this is actually to Rihanna fans too. Stop bringing Beyonce's name up.
Yeah.
The verses is cute, bruh.
Yeah.
That verses sound cute with Rihanna. I didn't want to start negative with this. I wanted to end with it, but whatever. The verses sound cute with Rihanna. Like them records sounded amazing. Her performance was great.
Amazing.
I want y'all to stop thinking everybody is Beyonce and somebody got to get up and give a 19-step dance routine.
Bruh, she's pregnant, bro.
She's pregnant, and first and foremost, she is a businesswoman before she is a businesswoman, lingerie woman before she is a musician at this point, before she is an artist. So this is her first performance in 5-6 years, bro. Like
even that, I was going on. This is her second baby in 18, 19 months, bro.
Bro, like she is chill, bro. Like she been chilling. She ain't been working. She been probably working on music, working in the studio, chilling. Like ain't had to get up and perform or nothing like that. So chill. Like I thought the performance was great. I thought the visual looked incredible. I thought you definitely saw Kanye's inspiration in it.
Yeah. And everybody, why are you gonna bring anybody out? Everybody don't need to bring people out. Some niggas got real hits, like Rihanna.
Don't need to bring nobody.
Like Beyonce bringing people out, that is for entertainment value. Like they don't need to bring people out in the halftime show.
And that's her husband. That's who she brought up. That's just her. She is married to him.
Bruh.
He was just here. So
he was gonna be there regardless. So he might as well come out and rap. Like,
bruh. So yeah, stop comparing Rihanna to Beyonce. That verse sounds cute, bruh. Me and Ish did this because Ish thought the same thing for 20 minutes.
Yep.
And then them records started to come on. It stopped after the third one. He was like, never mind.
It's just different.
It just sounds different, bro.
Just different, bro.
They just sound different, okay? So
and Rihanna is super successful. She does have these Billboard numbers. She does have all these things, but
it just sounds
and then we hear the music.
Then you hear the music. Because What's My Name's gonna come on and everybody is gonna be so happy.
Yep.
And then you're gonna hear dun, 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 and Crazy in Love gonna come on. You're like, oh, never mind. And it's just gonna keep happening for like 18 rounds. So stop it. But to the performance, Rihanna, I love you. You're beautiful. You're amazing. Amazing performance. Entertained from moment one to the end of it. Me and Taylor were in there singing every song. Taylor loves Rihanna. I don't know if you know. Y'all don't know that, obviously. Taylor loves Rihanna, so she was singing along. I love that everybody gave her a love because I thought people was gonna kill her because she wasn't singing the whole time and she did do a crazy dance routine. So I thought people was gonna kill her. I'm glad they did it because again, not everybody should and not everybody has to do that. It was a phenomenal performance.
I be having to, shout out to Alicia. I be having to, remember that Stan Twitter not real. I know the Alicia's out there, like, it sounded really good.
Shout out Alicia, I love you.
Not much of a singer, not really a vocalist. Like Miss Carter, but it was good. But no, Rihanna's performance was great.
Yeah, it was great.
I love Rihanna. I was at work watching the game. watching the game on the TVs. Everybody shut the fuck up when it was time for
That they did.
Like, cause they did the halftime show first, then it was Rhianna. The minute the halftime show was over, they was like, all right, everybody.
Turn TV up.
Because she did great. I love the song choice.
Yeah, I think it was a perfect set list.
No complaints.
No complaints at all. And last thing I will say is, to her, she didn't sing the entire time, stupid ass shit, and the dance routine, and she wasn't really dancing. Hey, look, bro. Some people's music is so good, them just being on the stage and playing their music is good enough.
And I'll take it another step further. Rhianna, billionaire. Y'all ain't pay her. Maybe if y'all pay her.
Good night, everybody.
Y'all pay her.
Good night, everybody.
Y'all got a free performance. That's what y'all got.
Y'all got a free performance.
Before we go, I do want to ask this. Your favorite Super Bowl performances?
Top three.
Yeah.
Prince, 2007, I believe that was. Beyonce, 2013.
Okay.
And Beyonce, Bruno Mars, and Coldplay in 2016. And an honorable mention to last year with Dr. Dre and all of them, because, rap is my shit.
I'm going to go Mike, Prince, Beyonce. I feel like that's a solid three.
That's like, you can't get better than that. You cannot.
Mike, Prince, and Beyonce. There's nothing crazier than Prince making it rain.
Yeah, nothing crazier than Prince making it rain. And I haven't watched Michael Jackson performance in full. I've just seen clips of it, so I didn't say that. But Michael Jackson, you're right.
Oh, yeah, his shit is nuts.
So, real quick, what is your favorite Michael Jackson song? Just to end the show, because I've never asked you that. Like, and not like one of the ones, like not Billie Jean Thriller. Like, what is your favorite, like?
Oh, Lady in My Life.
Lady in My Life. Okay,
Yeah.
Mine is Butterflies. One of the best songs I've ever heard in my life.
I would ask you, do couples still have songs?
Yes.
Okay, that's lit.
Yeah, yes. Me and Taylor's song is On the Run Part 2.
That's beautiful.
Yeah.
That's beautiful. That's exactly what I was
That's my song. But that song and Into the End of Time with Justin Timberlake and Beyonce. So yeah. And I Care. We had a couple. I Care is her favorite Beyonce song.
Y'all just really in love.
That's all. Shout out to
Every song y'all.
Every song I've ever heard that's about love is also. So, thank y'all for joining us. We will be, that doesn't matter, I do that every show. So thank y'all for joining us. Like, subscribe, comment, tell a friend to tell a friend, follow us on TikTok, Twitter, Instagram, all is _nothing_ATL, and we will be back next time you see us.
Yes, sir.
Episode 19 is wrapped.